okay? And so that so when you walk through Facebook, you see all these Sun Micro logos on the walls. And then, but I looked in one of those rooms, and in Facebook, which you think about working pretty hard to be as socially relevant as they can in terms of a tool, there's a poster on the wall that says, "You don't have time to make it perfect." Now, this is in the face of what I'm just telling you about the last 10%, okay? But I want you to think about that too. What PowerPoint have you ever worked on that was you couldn't have tweaked more? You know, what paper couldn't you have ever tweaked a little harder? The reality is too, we have limits in life, and you don't have time to make most things perfect. That goes against the grain of this point, but what I want you to do is think of the teeter-totter balance in this, that you want to do the last 10% and get it up there, but you probably don't have time to tweak forever. So you also have to know when you're ready, when you can pull it, and when you go. And so I think we blend that in. You want people though, because you perfect the last 10%, to know they can rely on you. You want to be a person that people go, if we gave that to them, we know it'll get done. Okay? That's part of the habits that you incorporate here that come out that way because of who you are. So you want to be that person. This is not about somebody else. These habits are only about you. This is not about what somebody you love or live with needs to be doing. These are what you need to be doing if you want to be a difference maker. Life isn't about them. Life is about me doing what I need to do as a difference maker when I walk in the room. It's about my expectation. It's about my attitude. It's about my expectation of excellence. So, I had a boss who I worked for early on, and I didn't do something that he thought I should have done, and I had a good excuse, and he goes, "Oh, wait a second, Bill, you're confusing me." I said, "What do you mean, sir?" He goes, "You're confusing me for someone who's interested in your excuses." Amen. And I'm not. And, I was mad inside. I smiled, but I was mad inside because I thought, well, why does he think he can say that? Well, the reality was he wasn't interested in my excuses. He wanted my performance. I saw hurdles. He saw a finish line. And what I want to encourage you is that if you do these things well, if you really try and take some of these things to heart, 5 to 10 years from now, you will be in a dramatically different place than if you don't. You're going to be in a dramatically different place 5 to 10 years from now because of people you associate with, the things you read, and the habits that you pursue. And if you do those things well, you will be very content because as you're pursuing your passion and you're in the next spot, you realize, this is what I was built for. This is what I'm great at doing. This is who I can help. And that kind of achievement is what gives you a zest for living and a zest for life that you're not stuck without, that you can always make happen if you decide to do so. Thanks very much.
Okay. Andy, do you have a minute for questions? Any questions? Any questions?
It can be anything. I'll answer anything.
Anything? No questions? Okay.
There's one. Yes, ma'am.
What's a book that you would recommend for us to read?
Well, if we're talking about in the interest of leadership,
Yes.
a book called Rare Leadership. And Rare Leadership is written by Marcus Warner. And most leadership books you go to have the typical, I can't think of the word. Anyway, have typical things on leadership, pretty much as you go through. What Rare Leadership does is talk about the EQ side of leadership. So what you need to be doing in terms of the way you relate to people. And I think that piece is typically missed in leadership books, so that's why I like that book a lot.
Anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
If you weren't always interested in politics, what were you interested in when you were going through a period of going to school and choosing your career?
So I was a farm boy. We got up at 4:30 in the morning because that's what we had to do. I still do. Because that's a life habit that changes. I also find that mornings are an effective place to capture a lot of productivity because the people aren't there, and I love people. I just don't misunderstand. But I grew up on a farm and I wanted to be a businessman, and I didn't necessarily know how that was going to go. And I started working for a company. I went through roles and went through sales and operations and the financial portion of the businesses, and then I ended up buying a business, and then I sold that business, and then I got in a partnership business. I looked for a business down here. after that business sold, so I was really kind of buying and building and selling. And that's not so much who I am inside, and I had to learn that along the way. I'm the guy really who would have loved to own a hardware store that you came into for 30 years, sold you all the rope you ever bought, and helped you find the right light bulbs, you know. Who would have just, because I like relationships more. So when you're building something and you sell it, you're cutting the relationships off with not only the customers, but the people that you work with that you learn to love and do it. And so that's why I would decide I want to do a dealership, and then we found one here, and that's what moved us to Waco. And then this is a town that has an incredible volunteerism capacity in it, and also some great leadership over the years of opportunities to be able to serve in all kinds of ranks. So all you have to do is put your hand up, we'll find a slot, okay? And I loved doing that, and so it wasn't with any desire to work, serve in the city. It was just really a function of having served on a lot of committees for the city and the hospital boards. I was on 21 different boards over an 18-year period of time because I loved how you could do that. But I never pictured myself in a role, in a functional role doing that. But other people did, and then approached me. And so I think that's the other thing that you go, and I said no, and my wife Pam said, I think it'd be a great idea, I think you should do it. And I go, no, don't say that, Pam, please, people ask for it, otherwise it's inevitable. Because my wife has this great prayer life, and when my wife says stuff, it just happens, you know. And so, you know you're doomed kind of thing. And anyway, that aside, that's, I think we wrestle too much with wanting everything now, generally speaking. We don't recognize life's a long curve. And it is built on this serial experience, that's woven to this serial experience, that's woven to this serial experience, that's unique to you. And there is no waste in God's economy. Everything works together for good. If you know that's true, which I absolutely know that's true, because I've lost a son in a drowning accident, I have a daughter who has Downs, and you know, it's not, we haven't had issues in our lives. And I've had 2 grandchildren that both died at birth. So I know pain, but I also know those things work together for good. And if you ever see me with my Down's daughter Emma, she's like a rock star. People don't know who I am; they know who Emma is. You know, they say, "Hi, Emma," you know, and she's just a really fun human being to be around. I'm a dramatically different person because of that. So instead of fighting what I'm in, embrace what I'm in, be the best at it. Embrace what I'm in, be the best at it. How does that connect to that one? And that's what life's about. So then you get to moments in the future that you would never have planned for, and you're equipped and suited for those moments and opportunities. Race less, purpose, and fulfill every day more. And be patient for the growth that comes with that.
Thank you, Mayor Mutz. I want to provide you this outstanding appreciation, but he asked you to do a few things before you started to have some takeaways, and I want to tell you mine. I have 3. One is to wake up positive every day. I actually do, and I really try to know this is going to be the best day yet. And what goes along with that is waking up knowing I want to make a difference, being around people who want to make a difference, and at the end of the day, ensuring I do. And then lastly, which was very changing to me, is the gal with the hurdles. That will stay with me a long time, looking at the finish line and not seeing the hurdles, because that's what keeps us away from greatness. And so we so appreciate you, sir, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it.